Hello friends. In previous video we talked about how to select a research topic and where we discussed the different principles of selecting a topic. That was a basic level video. Now in this video I will precisely determine and discuss with you the 4 parameters of selection of a research problem. So it is Pico. You can call it Pico. So different people call it differently. So it is exactly Pico. Pico. We call it the Pico question. Your research question should be a research topic. Research topic is your research question, and that research question would be a Pico question. Now this Pico in the medical research is a standard way of selecting a topic, that your topic should meet this requirement of Pico. What is this Pico? Pico contains the 4 letters P-I-C-O. What is P? P is patients. P is population. And P could be problem. So there can be 3 possible explanations for the P. P could be population, P could be patients, P could be the problem. What is the problem? What are the patients? Which patients do you select? Which population do you select? I am coming on to that. What is I? It's the intervention. Wherever possible, try to bring an intervention into your research question. Never leave your research question without an intervention. Bring an intervention into your research question. So I means intervention. C has 2 possible explanations. C could be a compare, could be comparison, a comparison group, or it could be a control. Comparison or control. Your research question should include either a comparison group or a control group. And O is the outcome. What will be the outcome of that research question? Now let's take an example. Now I want to add something into the column of the P, that is patient, population and problem. So what were in the previous video we discussed on the diabetes. And in diabetes we selected that we narrowed down the diabetes into diabetic neuropathy, and from diabetic neuropathy we came to that we will do a research on autonomic diabetic neuropathy. So a patient, which patients? The patient with type 2 diabetes. Problem, what was the problem? Problem was the type 2 diabetes, and diabetes the problem was this neuropathy and autonomic neuropathy. Population, same. The population, the patient with type 2 diabetes having this type of the neuropathy, that is our patient population. Do you understand? Is a population is not, I am talking the general English term population, which describes the population of a country, a city, a region. The population here we may discuss somewhere in the biostatistics, that population means a group of people with a certain disease, with a certain condition. For example, all the people living in India with diabetes, that's the population. So our P is population, patient, a problem. In that we have the population of diabetic patients with neuropathy, we have the patients with diabetes and neuropathy, and we have the problem is diabetes and neuropathy. So we have met the requirement of P. Now what is an intervention? What could be the intervention in autonomic diabetic neuropathy? Autonomic diabetic neuropathy usually affects your heart. It affects your blood vessels. It affects your erectile functions. It affects your gut. And it affects your cardiovascular and hemodynamic systems. So, what could happen? Diabetic autonomic neuropathy causes diabetic gastroparesis. cause cardiac abnormalities. So, for example, we now introduce an intervention. An intervention could be a diagnostic tool. An intervention could be a therapy, a drug, a manual, a surgery, a certain procedure. Here in diabetic autonomic neuropathy, I want to introduce the beta blockers. I add the beta blockers in this intervention group. So here I brought an intervention, I brought a drug, I brought a therapeutic agent, that is a beta blocker. So in intervention I have a drug, I have a therapy. What about the C? What's a comparison? What is a control? Bring another drug, bring another patient population. The comparison could be normal patients, normal healthy adults. Your comparison or control group could be diabetic patients without autonomic neuropathy. Or you can add another drug in the comparison group. Let's say another calcium channel blocker, an SGLT2, another drug. So in C, you either need a comparison group. Comparison could be a group of people, a group of patients. It could be a drug. It could be an intervention. Like you are comparing the one type of surgery with another type of surgery in the same patients. So this is here our I and intervention lies. And O is your outcome. Outcome could be anything you want to wish your research to have. It could be the death. It could be hospitalizations. It could be the number of days of hospital stay. It could be the time to closure of a surgical wound with a certain intervention with a certain surgical time. So whatever is, each of these terms have their own description, their own details that I can't discuss in this video. But simply I want to make you understand that your research question should be a Pico question. A Pico makes it easier for you to develop a research question. So in Pico, you should have a certain group of patients, a certain problem. In intervention, you should bring an intervention. In the C, you should bring a comparison or control group, and you should have an outcome. In this example, let's summarize a research question. What it could be? It could be like the control of heart rate. Control of heart rate achieved with beta blockers and calcium channel blockers in autonomic neuropathy in patients with type 2 diabetes mellitus. You can develop a research question that describes that you want to see the effect of beta blockers and calcium channel blockers comparatively on the heart rate in patients with autonomic neuropathy due to type 2 diabetes. Here you have patients, you have intervention, you have a comparison drug, and you have an outcome. I hope that this makes sense. In later videos, we will further elaborate things related to this topic selection. If you have any question, any problem regarding with these things, you can write into the comments and we will hopefully get back to you.